Hello all and welcome to my channel, where science, technology, engineering, and math are made easy. Today I'm going to be doing a Python tutorial where I show you how to use tuples in Python. Without further ado, let us begin. First of all, what are tuples? We have to know what we're working with before we actually do it. So tuples are an immutable series of values that cannot be changed, unlike lists. Previously, I made a video explaining how lists work in Python. So if you want to watch that, the link is in the description below. So let's actually do it. We're going to go over type, len, and subscript. Tuples are similar to lists, but unlike lists, they can't be changed. Certain things like this section, as well as groups and heterogeneous tuples, and some other topics that you may recognize from experience, are shared between them. So I'm going to first of all create a tuple. I'm going to name it alpha equals 1, 2, 3. This is a basic tuple. Now we're going to print type of alpha, print len of alpha, and we're going to print alpha. So what is this output? Well, there's different types of variables. A variable, which is alpha, stores a value, and the value is the 1, 2, and the 3. And since this is a tuple, it's a tuple. If alpha was a list, it would say class list, but since it's a tuple, it says it's a tuple. Now we'll go down to len. Len counts how many values there are. There's 3 values currently, but suppose I added a 4 and a 5, there would be 5 values. Now, finally we do with the subscript. Here's how the subscript works. You start with 0, then you count to 1, then you count to 2, then you count to 3, then you count to 4. It doesn't matter if this is 100, this is 32, this is 34, this is 54, or this is 15. 0 is always the first value. So here, 0 would be 100. 1 would be 32. Just, I accidentally deleted something, so when I ran the code, it didn't work properly. So 2 would be 54. 0, 1, 2. Now 15 would be 4. So you start with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's do 8. 8 is out of range of the 0 to the 1 to the 2 to the 3 to the 4. So the range is 0 to 4. So it doesn't work if it's out of range. Now let's go on and do groups. So we're going to have alpha. Let's do beta this time. Beta equals 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is a group. There's 2 groups, group 1 and group 2. Or using the subscripts, group 0 and group 1. Now, of course, we can print the type of beta, the len of beta, and the subscript of beta. That was just I added an extra parentheses that wasn't needed. So it's a tuple, and there's 2 values. There's 2 groups, group 0 and group 1. So it has a value of 2. Now, when I say, so up here with the subscript, it would print individual values, whether it be the 100, 32, 34, 54, or 15. Here it prints groups, 4, 5, and 6. If I print 1, it would print the group of 7, 8, and 9. And of course, if you go out of bounds, there's an error. But suppose in this group I want to get an individual value. Suppose I want to go to group 1 and get 8. So I'm going to have 1. The 1 gets me the 7, 8, 9. But I'm going to add a second bracket with a number and also 1. So this 1 gets group 1. And this 1 gets value 1. So this is group 0, and this is group 1, the group we want. And inside group 1 is values 0, 1, and 2, and so since we want value 1, we get an 8. If we're to make this a 2, we get a 9. So this is very similar to the single groups. I consider this a single, you can't call it a group, but it's a standalone, and this is a group. It's very similar, but it goes a little more complex. Now let's do heterogeneous tuples. These two boxes are homogeneous tuples, which means all their values are exactly the same. So let's try a heterogeneous tuple. Let's try gamma. Gamma equals, we're going to put a string. Now a string is something between two quotation marks. Now, since I've been getting into Batman, I'm going to put Batman characters here. Batman is one string, and I'm going to put 7 for an integer, 3.14 for a float, which is like a decimal or a fraction, and we're going to put true for a Boolean value. So we have 4 different value types. So we're going to print type of gamma. Now, of course, a gamma is a tuple. Okay, what I got wrong is I put gamme up here and put gamma down there so it doesn't recognize it. It's just little errors. So gamma is a tuple. But what if we want to check the values of the individuals in this list? Suppose I wanted to find the value of Batman. We would go to the 0 of the subscript and it would be a string. Put a 1 for the subscript and it's an integer. Put a 2 in the subscript and it's a float. And put a 3 in the subscript and it's a Boolean value. So suppose we had a heterogeneous tuple, but put it in groups like up here. We could do the exact same thing, where we would have, say, 3 groups, and we want group 3. So that would be the subscript of 2. And suppose we want to find the first value of the subscript of 2, then the box over here would be a 0. Let me type that up. So I'm going to erase all this and try it again. Make a heterogeneous group tuple. Gamma equals Batman 7 3.14, and instead of true, let's put false this time. That's another Boolean value. So we're going to print type of gamma 0 0, and it's a string. So we go over to group 0 and value 0, and it's a string. Suppose we wanted to get false. We'd go over to group 1, value 1. So it's the same idea, but with, instead of just having integers or just having strings, so on and so forth, we have different values. Now let's try unpacking. So I'm going to say delta equals 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values. I'm going to have it W, A, S, D, and Q equal delta. Now I could just print delta out. And if I print delta out, I get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. But suppose I put a W here. Then only a 10 is produced. What if I put 3 W's? Then 3 10s are produced. What if I put a Q? Then a 50 is produced. So the W or the first variable is tied to the first variable here. The second variable is tied to the second variable here. The third variable is tied to the third variable here. The fourth variable is tied to the fourth variable here. And the fifth variable is tied to the fifth variable here. You can put them in any order you want and it would print out in a variety of combinations. So I'm just going to do the most basic to wrap it off. WASD to get the 10, 20, 30, 40, and add a Q, and I get 50. Now let's use the count function. I'm going to have sigma equals 1, 1, 11. Sigma dot count 1. So what the count function does is count how many times a value appears in a list. 1 appears twice, so it appears twice. Now 11, on the other hand, only appears once, so as it shows in the output, it only appears once. Now let's use indexes. I'm going to have theta equal 99, 89, 7. Theta dot index of 99. So the subscript of 99 is a 0. The subscript of an 89 is a 1. And the subscript of a 7 is a 2. So earlier we put the subscript in, like up here, to determine what value is there. But now we're using the value to find the subscript. So to simplify it, originally we used the subscript to find the value. Now we're using the value to find the subscript. So let's do the power of. I'm going to say x zeta equals 2, 3, 4. For I in zeta print I to the power of, this is the power of function 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16. You can make this list as long as you want it, and you can set it to different powers of. So 2 times 2 times 2 is 3, 3 times 3 times 3 is 27, and 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. So that's basically how it works. So now let's combine tuple values. I'm going to put in Batcave equals 4, 5. I'm going to put in Joker equals 6, 7. So I'm going to say Gotham equals Batcave plus Joker. Now, what I'm not doing is adding the numeric values. I'm not adding 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 to get a sum. I'm merely combining these two values in a list. So when I print Gotham, I get 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I'm not adding numeric values, I'm merely combining values in a list. This is the basic overview of tuples. I didn't cover everything, just the broad overview for beginners. And folks, please be brutally honest and tell me whether I'm doing good at this, whether I'm doing terrible at this, how I can improve myself. Oh, and here's one more thing. There's a link in my website. There's a link in this video to my website. It's still relatively new, but like the video, please give me my feedback. I want to do better. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.